Hi friends and everyone, you're welcome back to Netcode-Hub channel. Do you know that .NET 8 Blazor comes in with its own dialog element? At first, if you want to create an application and use the dialog component, unless you use a component from the third parties, that is the same Fusion, Blazorize, Matt Blazor, and a whole lot. But with the new feature of .NET 8 Blazor, we now have a native inbuilt or own dialog element that we can use. For now, it supports two events, that is the onClose and onCancel. I'll take you through it, okay? So don't worry. Before we jump right into it, please make sure you subscribe to this channel and also hit on that bell to receive updates as soon as I upload new video. When this video ends and you're happy with it, give this video a thumbs up. You can also support this channel by buying us a coffee. You can do that from a link in the video description. When we're also done with this project, I mean I and you, I'm going to put this on the GitHub so you can just go in there and clone it and also review. Okay, so let's see. I have done this work already. Let's go through here. Then we get to the practical aspect. I have this normal table over here, as you can see, and it's about product. Now, if I click on product, see the dialog element. So you can see I have this nice dialog element. I'm not using any third party, rather it is an inbuilt from .NET 8 Blazor. It's not nice? Yes, it is. You can customize this into a confirmation text box, into an input text box, into anything at all. And that is what I have this beautiful add product form. Now let's decide to add a few products here. So I'm going to say this product 1. I'll pass in the price. Then here, I'll save that. Let's add another one as well. So product 2. So pass in something. Then let's save that. Now you see, I can now close it. Wow. Now let's see. I want to delete this. I want to edit it. Is it possible with the dialog box? Yes, it is. Let's see. So product 2, I want to change it to maybe product 10 or 20. So click on it, edit. And you can see we have it popped up. Now the title has now changed from add product to update product. Now let's make it a product 20. And now let's also add 5870. That is a huge amount, isn't it? Let's click on save and see what's going to happen. Yeah, we have product updated. And yeah, everything is working perfectly. As you can see, product 20. And there's an amount. We have an actions here. Now, what if in case I want to delete? Is it possible? Yes. Let's see. I click on this. Now you can see we have this confirmation model. And, I use the same components to do this confirmation box. And it's all about this dialog box. Okay. Now, if I click on no, see what happens. And nothing happens. But as soon as I click on confirm, see? So it is off. Beautiful. That is what I'm going to take you through. I believe this is nice. And you can use this without necessarily have to download third-party components and use it. Let's see. I'm going to create a new project. And at the end of this, I'm going to put this to the GitHub as well. So it is going to be the name of this project. Don't mind. It is called .NET 8 Blazor Native Dialog. Do I say component or element? This is an HTML element, right? So let me say element. But we're going to create it in a component form. So let's maintain this component, okay? Because I love components so much that all my codes, I put them in the component form so we can reuse them anytime, anywhere. Okay, so I'm going to close this. Now let's create a new project. So take note, I do offer coaching or training session to interested people who want to learn Blazor or .NET technologies, comprised of web services for web API, Blazor server, Blazor WebAssembly, .NET MARI, and also Blazor Hybrid. So if you're interested, I have an email at the description. Hook me up over there. Now let's get the project created. So now with this, we're going to use .NET 8 Blazor standalone WebAssembly, but it cuts across all the sections. You can use it anywhere. Yeah, anywhere, anyhow. Is that so? No, it is anywhere. So let's create a project for that. And I'm going to use .NET WebAssembly standalone app. And now the name here, as I said earlier on, .NET Blazor native dialog component, and this is the location that I want to put it. Click on next and make sure the framework is 8.0, very important, and that is it. Create. Once you have this ready, we are not going to install any package. This is just a native one, so let's start ahead. Now I'm going to close this, and the next thing to do here is we are going to create a simple JavaScript file, because we're going to invoke this to raise the modal or the dialog box, okay, to raise it up. So let's see. Now, actually, this feature here, or this element, supports the cancel, but I'm not sure it supports the close. Okay, so let's see how we're going to customize it to suit what we want it, so that we can add product, manage it with all stuff. So let's first go to the www folder, and in here, let's create a folder and I'll name it as JS. That's for JavaScript. So we have this over here, and that is the file. So JavaScript, and I'll create a JavaScript file known as a dialog.js. Maybe you're asking yourself, how are you going to create it? Don't worry, click on the file. So as you can create a folder, right click on it and click on add new item. And maybe you can just search in here for JavaScript for easy and quick access JavaScript, because we have it over here. So give it a name, dialog.js, any name at all. Okay, you can put it there. Click on create. And now when you are done, just a single line. There's a line of 3 lines of code. You have it over here. This is just a method that we are going to call to display the modal. So this is what we are doing. We are getting this my-dialog here. Now this is going to be the ID of the dialog. When you check the documentation, that is what they use. And I don't want to rename it because it is okay for me. If you want to change the ID of the div that you're going to call, you can just remain or change this, but for now let's give it here. Now this is my JavaScript function, so maybe you can change this to my dialog function. So this is my dialog function, that's right. And now we have .show modal. Now I tried to make that .hide modal and it didn't work. So this means that it only shows it, but there's no way to call the same method to hide it. No, we can't hide it. Maybe in Blazor.NET 9, maybe that feature will be available. Let's hope so. But for now, this is what they've given to us. So let's consume it in that way. Now we have this. Let's save it fully. Aside from that, we want to make this as global. If you want this to relate to a specific component, we'd have to specify or use lazy loading or so. I think so, lazy loading or JavaScript isolation. Lazy loading is for CSS, right? And now JavaScript isolation, it is for JavaScript files. Okay, so we're not going to isolate this. We're going to call this as soon as the page rendered, so it downloads it into the memory or the application state of the browser. So go to solution and click on the www, because you have this index HTML. Just grab this dialog, and now under anywhere, just drop it. So we have this linked script, and the source here is the js/dialog.js. So we have this set. Now to test whether this is working, we can just pass in an alert. So just pass in an alert. So use to test, let's say hello, just testing. Okay, so type in this. Now close it up. And let's try to run this application and see. At any page that it renders, you might have to see hello, just testing. Let's try it up and see. I said it. Now you can see we have it over here. So hello, just testing. Click on OK. Now any page that it loads that we navigate to, we're going to see that JavaScript file in there, that message. It tells you that it is working. If you want to know where the file is, right click on this. When the page loads, go to inspect elements, or let's see, right click, go to inspect elements, and let's check it out from the application section. Application over here, and that is this. So in here, let me zoom this up for us to see it well. Okay, that's fine. Now here, you're gonna see that we have, where is it? Okay, so storage. All right, so background services. Yeah, let's go to preload then. Oh, and yeah, frames. That is it. So open this up, and now you see we have scripts. So and we have CSS. So you see we have only just weather CSS, and that is this one. We are not expecting this. Let's open the script. Now you see from the start sheet we have the app, the start sheet we have. So these are the files that we have in the application. It has been downloaded into the browser, and that's what we're going to render to see the nice view that we have been seeing. If you want to check the scripts, open the script. Now you can see we have all the scripts over here, but we are interested in the last one, dialog. So this is what we are testing. You can see we have it over here. So this is everything that we have done. Okay, don't worry. Now it means that it has been downloaded or installed in the browser's memory, and we can now use it. Now let's close this and let's go back to the page. And here, now it is working. We can remove this peacefully with no issue. Let's save it. And we can now close this and close that. Now let's open solution. In the folder of pages, let's turn one of the pages here into a dialog. So let's make that dialog component. You can give it any name, right? It is dynamic, so any name at all that you like, give it to it. And now in here, we're going to clear everything because you know this is going to be a chart component. So no routing. On top here, there's no page route. Just clear everything. And in that, the first thing we're going to do here is we need to specify the component. Now, if we check the documentation of this, I learned how to use that. We can use this to handle it. Let me just grab it from this side and now paste it over here. So this is all what ASP.NET team give us. So we have this button, and now when button is clicked, you can see my div dialog is being called, and that is a dialog over here. If I want me to zoom it some more, I hope you can see this. Okay, now check what you can see. We have this the button, we have the dialog component here, the HTML element, and we have the @onClose and @onCancel. Okay, we have this button known as close, and it is in the form method of a dialog. So if it is in this, you can close it. But if you move it outside this form method, no, it's not going to work. So you make sure it is in here. So if you want to modify this by creating in some containers in it, you make sure that the close button is in here. Take note. All right, so with the default one, if we save this and now go to the index, that is our index. And now within our index, let's close everything and let's use this dialog component. Let's see the default one. So there's going to be the default one. Now let's run this application and see. There you go. So we have it over here. As soon as I click on show modal, this is what you see. So this looks like it's a skeleton that you're going to try to add some meat to it to just give it a lot of styles to make it beautiful. Okay, so we have this over here, and that is the default. If I click on this, you can see it closes. And now we have on close. Take note, we have on close here, and if I click on it again, the same on close. Now if you go to the section here, and now the dialog component, you can see that we have just one method, and it is tagged to on close. It means with this on cancel, it is not working, because where can we have this on cancel? Let's say when you make a copy of this, and now we duplicate this in here, and I change this to cancel. Let's try that and see. So this is cancel. Save this. Let's go back to the app, and now we have show modal. Okay, we have close. We have to reload this page to have this insertion. All right. Let's check it out here again and see. So you can see we have this cancel, we have this close. If I click on the close, we have on close. Now let's try the cancel. Okay, the same thing on close. It means the cancel, it is not working. Right, so we have only one method that we can actually call on for. Now here we are going to customize it so we can see what you saw. All right, now let's get it going. Now I'm going to close this up, and here you're going to, so these are the method that that is the on close. No, on cancel is the one working, or is it on close? So that is the on close. This is the one working. On cancel, it is not working. Okay, so you're going to maintain, you're going to be using this onClose method. So we are going to, let's remove this button because we are going to call this button somewhere else. We remember that we've created our JavaScript file that's going to call or raise this event, that is this div, and we're going to show. Okay, so we have this set. Now let's remove this here. You can. Okay, so that is this. Let's save this. So let's create our simple model. That's what we're going to use for this. And I'm going to name it as product. So let's create a class for that. We go to solution, right click on this, and let's add a class to any. And I'm going to make it as product. And now in here, let's have a product with these properties, ID, name, and amount. Okay, so we have this set. Now let's go to maybe this. Let's say the home page. Okay, now the home page, you want to have a list so we can loop through. So this, where we have this main page, but before that, let's have this container, row, column 8, and etc. So on top here, this will be the down, okay, because this doesn't need any design here. So we're going to call this as div, and now let's make a class here as contain. Is it container? Yeah, container will be okay. So container, and we're going to have our div, our class again. And you know, we are going for row. We have another div. Then this class, we're going for let's make it MD8. So at least we cover 70% of the screen. Then in here, we're going to have our card. So maybe we have our class and we have our card. Okay, now in that, let's have our card header. And inside the header, maybe we can have our button in there. So the button going to be show div. Okay, is it show div? Show modal. But in the sense, the rest is going to be add product. That's going to be the name of the button. We have the class known as a BTN primary to give it as the blue. Is it the blue, sea blue, etc.? What kind of blue is it? We have the blue color as well. Okay, so now with this, we can set this to left. So let's make it at floats right. That's right, isn't it? So float end. Okay. Now, once you have this, let's come to the code section. And we must have our private void. And this is supposed to be show dialog. So show dialog is wrongly spelled. I'll just grab this and I'll paste it here. Very simple one. Okay. So when I click on this button, what do I want to do? Now we have the JavaScript insertion in the browser. We can just invoke it. But before we invoke it, we must have to, let's go to the import because we're going to be using the JavaScript, or let's even add it here. So at inject IJS runtime, and here I'm going to say just JS. We create an instance of it. And I'm going to say await. Then I'll say js.invoke, okay, async. Now with this, I'm going to pass in the name of the method. Remember the name of the method? If you don't worry. As for me, I do also not remember. Let's go back to the JS. Let's go to the JS in here, and the name is my dialog function. Let's grab that. Go back again to the home.razor, and in here, paste it, save it. Okay, and now this must be a task. So instead of this void, change this to task. Very simple. You're done. Let's wait and see. Do you have any issue again? I forgot. Now you can see when you use invoke async, you must pass in the t value. Have you seen? You are not passing a t value here. So it must be invoke void, which means you are returning nothing. You are just calling that method. There's no return type. Now let's run this and see that if I click on this add product, the text box or that dialog component must pop up. So we have this home here, and now when you check, we must have, okay. So where is the dialog component? Have we cleared that? Home? It's supposed to be down here. Okay, so let's put it down here. And that is a dialog component. Okay. So we have it, and that is this one. So let's save it. And now let's try. So you can see we have this card header, and it has shipped to this. So if I click on add product, you can see we have it popped up. And cancel works, close works, but both of them, they work at the same. Then they all close the application, and that's all. Okay, so when you have close your save, you can also make it work here. So let's have a look with the next one. Now this is working. So we can just go to the app, and once you have this header, so this must be card header, I think so. So cash dash header, then we must have cash dash. So there's a card. So this must be a class, and we say card dash body, and that's going to be the card body. So okay, so this must be in a double quote. We should not forget. Okay, so we can then close this, and that is the body. So in here, we want to display the list. So maybe that's what we can do. We can also create one component so we can use in here. But for now, we are focusing on this dialog component. So I don't want to confuse you with many components, many children component. Let's make only a child component, and that is the dialog component. Okay. But if you want to improve this, you can just move this into another component. Then you put the one here as a child component and supply the values as a list. It is also there. This also works. So, we can choose anyone, then stick to it. Now, let's see. So with this, I don't have time to type all this. Okay, it's a very simple thing. I just have to grab the table. Let me just grab this table from my second screen. And okay, that is it. It's not long, just a small one. I think it did not copy. It's okay, so let's see. All right. Now let me just make it small. So check here. Now you can see that we are having, check this. We are having just a table and a stripe, is table stripe as a class from Bootstrap. We have this table head, and now you can see we have ID, name, amount, and our actions. When it comes to the T-body, we are checking if product.any. Then we are going to loop to the product in descending. But let's remove the descending. You want to make application very simple. And now within each product in products, we are looping through to get a product ID, name, and the amount. Now what we are doing here again is, as you can see, we are just creating two buttons, and this in the H stack form, meaning horizontal stack. You put the gap as 2, so create space between them, and there you go. So here, make it in the horizontal form, so we can have the edit first and now the delete in order. Okay, like a match pass, first and second. All right, so we have it set in here, and that is it. Now here we call this function, and we pass in the current value or the current model as a parameter. We do same if you want to delete. Okay. Now once you have this, we must have something to represent the list and also this method. So down here, we are going to create it here. So the first thing I'm going to do here is going to create a list of products. And since I'm not going to store this in database, there's going to be an in-memory. So let's make it as static. So let's make it as private static. So as soon as you navigate from one page to another one, it still maintain the state. So we have this. And let's have another method to handle the edit and also the delete. So the same private, this method is going to edit it. Let's open the parentheses, and now we can just make a duplicate of this, and here this is going to be delete. Remember that the payload is the same, the parameter is the same. Check this, the same parameter from this to that. Have you seen the same parameter here? Okay. Now whilst we are in here, let me make it smaller. Okay, so we have this and everything's working. So when you run this, we are not going to see anything. Let's check if it has rendered. Let's close this. And now from the home, if you refresh this, so this is the output. You can see we have this add product on top here. We have these column names. Action. If I click on add product, I have this pop-up open over here. But we are going to convert this into form, okay, and beautify it, the edges. You can just do a whole lot of CSS stuff to this. If I show you how to use it, then you can also go on and now add more stuff to it. So what we're going to do next here is we're going to design this form into a product form that can accept products. Now let's go back. And now in here, when we check our dialog component, you can see we have this, that's a dialog in here. Okay, so within the dialog, we can just grab, let's remove all this. Okay, and maintain the dialog and then the open and then the closing. And I can remove everything. All right. Now, even we've seen that the close, the cancel is not working for now. Maybe it's not working for me, but maybe when you try it's working, let me know how you did it. Now, with this, we have the close section. And in here, let's have some little CSS style. So let's make it an inline style in here. I'm going to say that let's change the border to maybe a 5 pixels, so 5 px, and solid. Now this is C blue. This is 0B5E. Okay, so 0B5ED7. What kind of color is this? 0B5ED7. Okay. So this is the color code. And also we can have min width. So minimum width, let's set it to 300 px. That's for pixels. Okay, we can save this. Then in here, let's have our edit form. This is an edit form. Now in .NET 8 edit form, there are some features that have been added to it. Okay, we can have this enhance. Now when you use this enhance, it's going to enable the form to get work without necessarily refreshing or reloading the page. You know, when you submit a form, the page has reload, but when you use this enhance attribute or feature, it's not going to reload the whole page, only the section that is the form at that area. So maybe if you are scrolling and you're at the bottom and you try to submit a form, you still maintain where you are. That's a new improvement from the .NET 8 Blazor. And there's also something known as the form name and parameters known as supply from form, supply from query, and etc. Maybe once you start using this .NET 8 framework, we start to learn it one after the other. But for now, let's focus on the enhance. That's for it. Okay, we can see we have the model known as the product, and if it is a valid submit or invalid submit, if it is submitted in a valid way, we are calling this save method. Okay, now when it comes here, we're using these data annotations, and there's validation summary, right? So we're using these two guys in here to handle all the exceptions. But for now, I think the way that you are doing this, unless you handle the validation manually, okay. For now, I believe you know how to handle that manually, but for now, let's focus on how to do this. So here, we are not going to use the title for now. Let's make it as add product first. Now we have this. We are using this product name. Before, let's get rid of this red line. So let's have our product list here. So this is product. And let's give it a name as product. And we say it's equal to new to get rid of these errors. Now let's also have the save method. So async task, let's have it down here. So async task, save, and it's also gone. Now we have this save button, and it is the same. So you can see that what we are doing here is we have this invalid submit. So when you click on any button, it's going to submit to this form. But when you check this, the form button that we have here, we are not submitting. The type here is a button. So when you also click on this, we are calling this method. So maybe we can decide to remove this unvalid submit because the validation is not working for now. Okay, so let's have this button. And so this means that we have to validate it ourselves manually. Validation, we have to do that. But for now, we are not going to concentrate on that. Let's see. So we have this edit form enhanced model, and it's over here. We have a validation. We can remove all this because they are not in here. And validation message, you can also remove it for now. What we have here is our card header. That's the add product. We have our card body. And within that, we have a form for each. And this, the first one here is a product name. We bind it to this as product name, and you can see the product amount. So we have only two forms, two text boxes. For the one is a text box, and the other one is the input number for the amount. Okay, we have, when they come down here, remember that I said if the button is in this form tag, it means as soon as you click on that, the form is going to get closed. We don't want to do that. So if I remove one and bring it outside, I tried that and it worked. It did not close it. So it means from the save one, you want to bring it outside. The reason why I brought it here is it could be that you want to save. Now, while saving, and maybe there could be an error. We don't want to clear and now hide the dialog box. You want to maintain a state until everything is successfully saved. But for the close, as soon as you click on close, everything should be off and it should clear everything. So that's why we remain the button, the close inside this form, and I'll put this outside the form. Okay, and that's an edit form closing. So that is all that we are doing here. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to use an event handler. This event handler, we're going to use an event callback. And maybe you'll be asking yourself, what is an event callback? It is a method or a way to handle events outside this component. You know, this is the chat component. You want to handle events from this chat into the parent component, the communication. So we can use event callback to do that. Although we can also use action, but for action, action does not contain state has changed. So when you implement action and you want to update to get a current update values, you have to state has changed. You have to call that method, okay, to refresh the page. Now you want to use event callback to get rid of those stuff because this is going to work as well for us. All right, so with this, the cancel is not working, so we can remove this cancel. And now I hate this lambda expression on a one line. So let's put this in to this block code. Okay. We have this set and yeah, let's save it. So let's create an event callback. Let's register an event callback as a parameter so we can supply or return anytime that I want to make a call from the chat to the parent. So handle add product event, you give it as event callback, and the return type here is a product because we're going to return product at the end to the parent. Also, with this product that we have created, you want to make it as a parameter because you're going to be receiving this. You don't want to make this as a model in here. You want to make it global. So you're going to accept also an instance of this product, and that's what we're going to use to fill in the gap in here. Okay. Now let's see. So we have this stuff working. Now the next one that we're going to do is once you have, let's see the reason why we have this. It is saying that cannot because some of the return type. All right, so delegate. I know what it's trying to say. So we have this products, and when this button, that is the save button, when it is clicked, we want to invoke this. No, that's not where it's supposed to be. This save. So when this is clicked, we want to invoke this, and I'm passing this object. That's the model. Okay, we check if the name is null, then return. So that's another way to check the validation, and return this to the parent. Okay, now we have this on cancel, and that is this one, isn't it? So we don't have on cancel, so this is on close. So definitely it's supposed to be on close, I think so. Let's grab this and I'll paste this here. That is on close. So this button is for on close, and we know as far as it is inside this method, we can decide to skip this because it's actually going to close it for us. So we don't need this method even. Okay, I think everything is working. left with this on close. So with this, I think let's have the method. Let's bring this method in here. And that's for this on close. Let's save this and let's run this and see what we have now. So let's click on add product, and you can see we have this nice form. If I click on close, you can see it is off. Click on add. Now if I click on save, see what happens. Save, it is still there. It is not off, still there, isn't it? But close, it's off. Yes, beautifully done. That's right. Now let's see the mechanism to add it to the list and I'll display them in here. Now we have pushed the method or the event outside or making it global so everybody can subscribe to it. Let's come to the parent here. That is the home, and subscribe to that event. So we can do that by passing in this. So as soon as I click on this, you're going to have some few properties that we need to specify in here. Okay, because when you check this dialog component, you must have this product and also the event callback that we specified. So here, let's pass in handle, and now you have the handle event. So let's make a copy of the same name and I'll paste it in here. We also need to supply this. You're going to supply this product, as you can see from here. So let's apply the product as well. And I'm going to use the same product from this angle. Let's put it in the next line to make it nicer. Okay, so Control K period. We have it here. Come here. Okay. Now from this, you can check here. We have no product, so let's have product. And we say product. So equal to new. Okay, so we have that set. And in our method, there is a home. So in our method, if I click on this, I have a method that I need to call up for. This for the add and edit. So here, that's going to be for add product. So let's have a method known as private void. Let's paste this, and it is coming in with a model. So product, and we say it's the same product or incoming product. So incoming products. Okay. So with this incoming product that we have, we can now extend it and check. We've already checked if it is null, so we can now go ahead and now add it. So how can we add it? So let's now check. So we say var product is equal to, so we check product.first or default. So we are checking the name. Maybe if the product that we added already, we've added that already. If the product that we are adding, we've done it already, then we're going to check it. And if so, here not going to be null, we're going to have this product already added. So you must have a string to handle. So string message, and that will handle this message. But in case it is not, let's remove this for now. You know, since you're not working with database, we have to do manual way to get the ID. So we get the whole list from the count of the product and add +1. So initially, if it is 0, we're going to add 1. If it is a 1, we're going to add 2, and so forth. Then we add it to the list, and we set this list to empty, to new, right? Then we display this message as product added, and we return. That's all that we are doing. But I know since after setting this product to empty, after adding, we have to clear the container. When you do that, you must also clear the container inside this chat component. So in the chat component, you are going to create a method to handle that. So in the chat component, let's see, you can just create a simple method that is known as a clear product container. Let's put it down here, clear product container, and we set this product that is coming as a parameter here equal to null or equal to new. Okay, how can we have access to this public method? Let's go to the home, and now here we can give a reference to this. So let's say at ref, then we're going to say this is dialog component. So once you have this set, we can just create it down here as dialog component, Then we say it is dialog component. Yeah, so this is what you want to do. We can make this as nullable, and this is a dialog component, so we can have this. Okay, then within this a reference, when you come here, we can have a method in here. So we paste it dot. Now we're going to have a method known as clear product container. So let's clear it. So you can see we are invoking a method in the chat component from the parent component, and that's a good communication that we are establishing here. Now let's save this and let's run this application, and now see what we have now. As soon as we add to the list, it means it's going to be added here, and now you're going to see the product in here. All right, so let's try it out. So add product, then let's say this is product one. Product one, the amount here is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now let's add and see. Yeah, so it has been added over here. Close this, and you can see we have it set in here. We have the edit and the delete as well. Let's add another one, and let's say product 2. The amount here, it is this amount. Then let's click on save. In case you decide to type in here and we click on with pass number and click on close, if that nothing happens, you click on add again, you're going to see it. Okay, so maybe here you can try to edit it to maybe product 3, and that is the amount. Save that, we have it set. Good, so now we are done. If I click on this, edit, delete, nothing happens. I hope you can see that. So let's handle that too. Let's first talk about the edit. So let's close this up. Now let's go to the dialog component. With the edit, the first thing here is we have to change the title. So you must have a way to change this title, right? So let's make it as title. So title, then product. So we're going to switch between add or update, right? Good. Now in here, we're going to have this, and we're going to say this is string, and we say this is title. And maybe we can set the initial one to add. So that's the initial one as add. As soon as the page loads, it's going to be added. Now here, we must have a private void such that we can set this from the parent. So let's make it as public. Then we're going to say void. Then we say change title. Okay. Now this change title, we can specify something, or maybe for now, let's add a string as title. Then in here, we're going to say this title is equal to this more title. That's what we are doing. We know it's going to be an update, but we don't want to set it here. We don't want to make it a static. Maybe you can add something, maybe future. So let's set it as a method that we can call and pass in the parameter. Save that. Let's go to the home page. And as soon as we click on this, edit product clicked, that is a method in here. The first thing here, it is let's change. So let's say change the form title to update product. You can even add name to it, isn't it? Good. Now, so here we're going to call this as dialog component dot change title, then pass in the title, and that's going to be an update. As soon as you do that, it's going to override the default one, that is the add that we set. Here, it's going to override this and now set the current one to the update. As soon as this also gets changes, it also notify in here, and definitely we're going to have it set. Let's try this out and see. So click on this edit. Oh, we haven't shown the dialog, so that's why we are not seeing anything. Let's go back. Okay, so in this form, we have to call this method show dialog. So in here, let's grab this, and after we change the title, let's make this as nullable. Down here, let's say await, then show this, save that, and now let's see. So edit this. So you can see now we have it shown, and I can check the title, update product. Beautifully done. I believe you're on the same track as I am. Congrats. Let's move on. So as we are in here, let's do here is populate the current value over here, and I'll set it to the product model. So we can do it in a simple way. We have to do that before we show, isn't it? We're going to show and I'll wait before the data come in. We don't want to do that. Okay. before the dialog box shows, the data is ready. It's ready already. Yeah, it is ready already. Okay, so let's see. Now this is what we're going to do. We have this list of product, and that is what we are using, right, to fill this product parameter. So we can say that whatever thing that we have in this product coming in here, please assign it to this product. So say this, and I believe this must be an incoming, because let's make this incoming. Okay, so it differentiates, and so we see which one you're talking about and which one are we using, and etc. So set this to the incoming one, a very simple one. So that's all. Save it, and now let's check it out and see. As soon as I click on edit, you see I'm going to have the product here, right? Now I can click on 11111 00000. But as soon as I click on save, see what happened? Nothing happened because we are not saving it. The reason is we said that if the name is already found in the database or the list, make sure you do not save it. But we are checking if the name is not now, that is save it, isn't it? But here we are updating. So how do we update? We first have to check here if this incoming product.id, if it is greater than 0, it means it has the data already. Then we need to update it. By the end of the day, let's return it. So we won't skip, or we skip the down one. So here, this is going to be for update. Okay. How do I input it? Let me put on top here as an update product. And at the down here is going to be add product. Okay, good. And now we have the return type here. So it means that after it gets to this won't be executed. This would execute if only this is false. Okay. Now here, we're going to do the same. But first of all, we have to check and see if the ID it is found. It is good practice to check that, although it will definitely be found because we click on the list and the list is coming with an ID, but it is good to check if it is there. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to just grab this simple code. I think it's four lines of code, and I'll paste it here. So you see, we are checking for the ID. If it is there, if it is not, then return. But in case it is not, then check the name. So you see here, we track, and I will check the name in here. All right. Then we display message as what? Product updated. Then we're going to clear product container. Okay, because this product has the data that we are updating from this product. This. We have to clear it. And now when you go to the chat component, it also has the same product it is receiving. We also want to clear it. The reason why we are clearing here is because we are using this a static list. If we don't clear, it must get itself confused and maybe to cause some issue in here. So you want to skip any issue at all. That is why we need to clear that. So let's save it. And now let's say save or go to the home tab and now save this as well. And now let's see if this is going to work. Now let's give it a try. So add products, product 1. Let's add product 2. Okay, so let's close it. And if I click on edit, I can see I have it over here. So product 10. And now here is 0. Click on save. And you can say, yes, it has been saved. Let's edit it and see. So product 22 and 0. Save it. And that is it. All done. Now it is left with a delete. So you see we are performing CRUD operation here with this dialog box, isn't it? So if I click on delete, what should happen? Let's have a look with that. So let's minimize this. And now here, you can see we have this, the delete. So if I click on delete, you can see I'm going to receive this as a payload or parameter from the list or from the method in here as delete product clicked. Now in here, what am I going to do, or what can we do, you and I, what can we do? We can just grab this and now assign it to this product, isn't it? And now display. Okay, so before that, we want to use, we want to make a confirmation. I usually want to delete this. Okay, so let's use the same dialog box to check the confirmation. So first of all, let's go to the dialog component. And in here, I want us to create these two properties known as a Boolean expression we can use to handle that. So on top here, let's put them here. Show main content and now show confirmation content. Initial value for this is true and this is false. Now, in order to do that, I'm going to set some state here, and down here, what we have after the edit form. Okay, you want to skip everything, and now this is going to be for a confirmation. Are you sure you want to do this? Then we're going to have button known as a confirm delete. We're going to pass in a parameter of true, and now no, it's going to pass in a parameter of false. But here we're not going to pass in false because it's going to come from this form. So passing that, and that is all. Now let's see. How do you handle this as well? We can handle that by using, so let me just use a close parenthesis here. And now in here on top, before this, okay, we want to handle at if. Then let's close one of these, Control KD. We can format it. And let's use this confirm. So this is a show confirmation content, and this is a show main content. So you want to hide this and show this. Hide one, show one. Okay. Yeah. So if we are confirming, we're going to hide this and now show this. But if you are adding or updating, then hide this and now show that. So you see, we are using one dialog for these three aspects: edit, add, and delete. Okay. So we have a method known as confirm delete. You have to pass in true as a parameter. So in that, we can handle that in here. Let's confirm delete product, and down here we can do that from here. Maybe down here will be okay. So confirm, show, confirm, dialog, and that is what we no, this is not what we are talking about. We want to have the next one, and that will be confirm this method. Then this, we're going to talk about this later on. Okay, so for now, let's maintain it, and I'll put this here. Take note, we are having a parameter, and there's an event callback. Here, the return type is void, empty. We are just making an empty voice. Hello, is everyone there? Do this for me. We are not passing anything. So we say handle confirm delete event, and I will check. It is coming in with a Boolean expression here. We're checking the response. If it is true, then please do this for me. So I'll wait, handle this confirm delete, then evoke it. So call it, broadcast it to any component which are subscribed or which has this as a parent or as a child. Okay. So, and we have a method known as load default. So what is load default? It is setting up the property that we set to the normal one. So false and true. Show main content here, it is a load default. It's what? False. And now show confirmation content here, it is true. That is a low default. Okay. So in here, now let's say this is supposed to be, we have it set, show confirmation dialog, and we are calling this. So show main content to false, and now show confirmation content to true. You know, when you check the normal side here, show main content here is going to be true, and now this is going to be false. So here we are turning it upside down. Check it. This is true, this is false. Okay. Now let's save this. And once you have this invoked, it means you have to subscribe to it in there to check if the outcoming definitely is going to be true, because if it is false, you're not even subscribing at all. Check here. If you are saying if you subscribe if it is only true, we invoke it if it is only true. Okay. Let's save this. Let's go to the home page here, and here we can handle that from this session. So here, Control KD, and let's see. So handle confirm delete, and we're going to create the same name with that with the same method. So let's paste in here. So Control KD, we have it set. Now let's create a method to handle that, and that's going to be here will be so delete product. And now we're down here. Let's have private void, then handle this. And since it is going to return empty, here is going to return confirmed. Okay, so in case it is confirmed, what do you want to do? Let's check the home, and we are going to check. So what are we doing here? We check if this product is null. Now this product is going to contain the current one which has been displayed in the form. Okay, so we check again. If it is null, then we're going to return. But in case it is not, definitely not going to be null. But for good practice, we're going to check. So we check if it is a null, then return. But in case it is not, then with the list that we have in here, remove the current one. Very simple one. Check it out. This is the list that we have, and we have the current one stored in here. So you want to remove this. After removing, let's clear this container. So you see we are clearing the container from this. This is the product list. And now maybe this dialog container also we want to also clear. Let's check if maybe we have some content in it, then clear that as well. So that's what we are clearing. Then here we want to load the default. So what is the default going to do? The default, when they come here, it is setting this show main content to false, and now show confirmation content to true. Okay, so it's going to just clear everything for us. Now let's see. So if I click on this, but we haven't implemented one. When you check the home, we have this delete clicked. So when it is clicked, what are you going to do? We want to set the incoming property here, the model, to the list that we have already. That is the list of this that we have. What is it? Have you seen it? Yeah, this one. Okay, we set it to it, and that's what we are doing. So product is equal to this incoming product. Let's change this to incoming product. Then we are going to show confirmation dialog. So we want to show it. So show confirm dialog. Then we're going to show this dialog. So what is this show confirm dialog? When you check this dialog component, this is a method. It looks like this is the same as this, isn't it? So show confirm dialog. Then definitely we can call this show confirm dialog down here. Even here, we can call this here. Then we can maybe get rid of this because it is the same that we are repeating. Okay, so we have it set. And now let's try it and see. And if there's any issue, then rectify that. So here we have to call this show confirm dialog instead of this. Then let's save this. Okay, now let's try this and see. Now let's see if I click on add products. Let's add product 1. So this is the amount. The reason why we are not having the old one is because you're not using database. So let's add product 2. Okay, so close this. Let's edit product 1 to 10. Let's add 0. So this is working as well. Let's go for delete. So delete this. Are you sure you want to delete? Click on no. Nothing happens, right? So delete, are you sure? No, nothing happens. Delete, are you sure? Yes, because it is off. That's right. Now let's see, edit this. Now we have, are you sure you want to do this? No, you want to do that again. So this must pop up and give us the content, isn't it? So let's go back again and check it out. So here, once we click, that is where this default must come in. So here, this default KU must come in. And now here, show content is going to be true. And now show this will be false. Okay, so this default, we copy this, save that. We go to the edit, so home here. And now where we have this edit, before showing this, we make sure that this is set. And that's going to be dialog component.show confirming. No, that is not what I'm talking about. Supposed to be low default. Okay, to clear that. Now let's see. So edit this. We have it set over here. Maybe let's close it. Let's add. Maybe let's run it again and see. So let's run it. All right, so let's add product and see. Now we have product 1. And as you know, this is add product. So let's add another one. We have product 2. And let's save that. We can add one more. Okay. Now let's see. So let's edit the first one. And now product, so we have an update. And here 0, 0. Okay, so it did not save. Let's use it again, 0, 0, and now let's save it. So you can see that's been saved. Now let's delete this, the last one. Are you sure you want to do this? Yes, delete it. Now you can see it is off. Click on edit of this because if you have product 2, let's add 0. Let's add 0. Save it. And now we have it. Right? We can also delete everything. Yes. Yes. Add. And now we can add new one. So P1. And save. Yes. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I believe you enjoyed this video. We've seen how to customize the default Dialog HTML element provided by the ASP team in .NET 8 Blazor. So I'll put this code at the GitHub and check the video description. I'll put it over there as well. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself, and I'm going to catch you up in the next video.